Tonight, the Vatican says more than 30,000 people visited the tomb of Pope Francis. Some waited more than 2 hours to enter St. Mary Major Basilica. The casket is inside a simple marble tomb. Tonight, a glimmer of hope for Ukrainians following an impromptu 15-minute meeting which happened immediately before Pope Francis's funeral. President Trump says he wants Russian President Vladimir Putin to, quote, stop shooting, sit down, and sign a ceasefire deal. CBS's Leigh Kiniry out of London is tracking the developments.
Good evening, Jerika. The last time the president sat down with the leader of Ukraine, it ended in a fiery exchange and Volodymyr Zelenskyy being asked to leave the White House. But yesterday at the Vatican, there appeared to be a reconciliation. A picture worth 1,000 words. But which words exactly? Zelenskyy called it symbolic and potentially historic. The White House called it productive. We don't know exactly what was said inside St. Peter's Basilica, while outside, world leaders gathered for Pope Francis's funeral. But hours later, President Trump posted on social media questioning Russia's recent strikes. There's no reason for Putin to be shooting missiles into civilian areas, he said. Maybe he doesn't want to stop the war.
How are you, Mr. President?
When President Putin met with American envoy Steve Witkoff on Friday, he didn't appear to be feeling the pressure, even though the Russian military was feeling the pain. A car bomb killed one of Putin's top generals just outside Moscow, and the Kremlin blamed Ukraine. On that same day, in that same city, flowers were laid at a memorial, depicting a moment 80 years ago when American and Russian soldiers met in Germany, allies fighting on the same side of history. This weekend, as the world said goodbye to a peacemaker, two men sat in a basilica, shaping their own history. The U.S. hasn't given up negotiating for peace, but Secretary of State Marco Rubio put that peace under pressure in an interview today, saying, Jerika, it needs to happen soon.
All right, Leigh Kiniry in London, thank you.